Hey, so welcome back to No Man's Land. I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm walking back from a Calgary marketing event right now, which was super fun. And it actually got me thinking about something that a lot of creators have been talking about recently, which is Instagram dead? That's definitely a very polarizing question. And some of the videos that Hapoya and McKinnon put out are great. But I wanted to kind of tell you my take as someone that isn't necessarily an influencer that still uses both platforms. Obviously, whenever you're curating or creating content, you want to try to get as big of an audience as you can. And, you know, I'd say that probably in the last 4 months, Instagram has really changed in that space in terms of growing. A lot of people aren't following or liking anymore, so they've changed the algorithm to show a lot more other people's content on their homepage, and a lot of people aren't liking that as much because it's not the content that they want to see. The reason they're doing this is obviously to try to get more people interested in other people's content, but it hasn't really panned out necessarily the way that they were anticipating. So, you know, from Maddie and Pete's perspective, the reason the channel isn't great is because they're losing a ton of followers. That's something that Peter McKinnon specifically mentions as being a real problem on Instagram. But these are people that have got, you know, hundreds of thousands of followers, are just getting a very large amount of traction on their posts, and, you know, that's probably not the average user. So that's what this video is going to be about, is someone that's got, you know, 1,000 followers only on Instagram. Have I really seen that much of a difference? And we'll jump into the platform and also talk about Vero, which is a platform that other creators have been talking about. I'm present on both, so we'll try doing a post on both, and we'll see whether or not, from a smaller perspective, the traffic really changes that much from platform to platform. Vero has got more of a feel of like a website or something like that. I don't really know the best way to explain that, but the flow of it is definitely not quite the same. The stuff that pops up is programmed by the interest that you put in when you first sign up. You don't have to pay or anything like that. You can post videos, all that good stuff. And here, I'll show you what my profile looks like. As you can see, I only have one connection, that's Marcus. I got 4 followers and I'm following 3 people. So obviously I'm not super active on here. I've just got a few posts. But even this one here, this was one I posted just a few days ago. It's got 36 likes and 2 comments. I posted this right around the same time on Instagram. And on Instagram, it got 42 likes and no comments. But see, that's not too far off, like 42 compared to the 36, and that's crazy because I've got like 1,100 people following me on Instagram and like no one following me on Vero. All right, I've got the photos taken, edited, I've pre-written the copy for both posts, and we're gonna be putting them simultaneously on Instagram and Vero, and we're gonna leave them for about 2.5 hours and see which one does better. So when you're wanting to post, you just go to the plus sign here, pretty simple. Then you've got a whole bunch of different options you can actually pick from. So you got gallery, camera, link, you can post movies and stuff. There's a lot of different functionality on this app that I haven't really explored yet, but we're just gonna be using it for posting a couple photos. So we'll just go to gallery. Piece on that. Red city, outdoors, low angle, and that's it. So now we are up on Vero. We're gonna have a slight advantage on Instagram because this building, actually, I've posted photos for them before and they sometimes reshare my stuff, so I will tag them. That will be one advantage that they get that Vero won't. Like this, we will tag 8th Avenue Place, and that's it. We are good to go. So let's hit yes. Now let's see how the posts do. So as you can see, both platforms actually get about the same amount of traffic for me, which honestly I kind of knew was going to happen. Obviously my Instagram following, it took me about 4 months to get 1,000 people, and that was being active on the platform every day, liking other people's channels, you know, supporting them and expecting the same back. So from a community perspective, I think Instagram is still similar that way, but it definitely does take a lot of work to get a larger following. So recap is, why do I like Vero? I think in terms of the audience, it's great if you're really wanting to, you know, have people that are like-minded, that are going to be interested by the same things you might be interested in as a, you know, landscape or street photographer. You know, it's great from that perspective. But do I know how to get a following on there? I do not even in the slightest know where to start. It's new to me. It's not a program that I've used a lot in the past, but which app do I recommend? I would say get both. That would be my honest answer. I think Instagram isn't going away anytime soon, so don't get rid of your Instagram, but if you've got the time and you'd like to try out a new app, Vero's cool. It's free. You're not really having to adapt the content to the platform more than you're doing on Instagram, so, you know, if you're doing one, you can do both pretty easily without adding an extra, you know, burden on your time, which is great. Let's leave the video there. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and remember to take beautiful photos every single day. Don't do it for the views, do it for yourself. Stay tuned for some awesome content coming out all about my time in Wyoming with Austin. Let's go. Man, check out that sunset. It is spectacular.